Moving on to the upper chakra.
To the Dhumavati. Dhumavati. From here, the centers, the vortices. These three are the worldly vortices, and these are the psychological and the upper world vortices, chakras. So Dhumavati, corresponds to the air element. That's why she's depicted grey and very depressive, which is a very, very distracting picture of hers. She's actually ocean of love. She can remove poverty completely. She can remove grief completely. She can remove, but people are very scared to enter into her because she's depicted like that, like a widow, like a very scary figure with, no color. In her yantras also, there's no color, there's just a gray. And in fact, many temples, even if you go to Kamakhya, they say the Dhumavati, nobody goes. A lot of our temple traditions which are there, they discourage people to take darshan of Dhumavati.
I've had people discourage Dhumavati worship on the show as well.
Yeah, so but she is really an ocean of love. I went to the Baglamukhi temple at in Madhya Pradesh, Datia. There's a beautiful Baglamukhi temple at Datia. I'd gone with one of my friends and students. When we were coming out of the temple after doing the puja and everything, there's a Dhumavati temple there. So the Pandit told us कि माता जी आप वहाँ मत जाइए, बस आपको मैंने बोला दर्शन तो ले ले माँ का, तो मैंने नहीं खिड़की से ले, you just look into the peep through the window and that's it. I mean, he was discouraging us to even go there. So we kept his honor, okay, because ठीक है, if he's saying don't go, don't go. We just came back to our car. A huge crow that I never seen in my life, such a huge crow, came and sat on our car. So it is as if she came, and crow is a vahan for Dhumavati. It is as if she came and she said, okay, you're not coming, I'm coming. So these are very subtle indications, for a common man who is very logical and very brain oriented, intellectual, he may not even give any importance to such an event. What is there? What is so big about a crow coming and sitting on your car? But when it is coming as a coincidence, when you are not going to the temple and suddenly out of nowhere, such a big crow, the size of the crow was amazing. And we were three of us, and we three were wide-eyed, jaw-dropped, looking at the crow. Because we all understood three in our hearts that here she is. So, they manifest around you. So Dhumavati is an ocean of compassion. Very, very beautiful. So as a therapist, and as a person who is into Mahavidya sadhanas, we recommend Dhumavati's mantra rarely, only when somebody is grief-stricken for long, into deep depression or grief-stricken and just doesn't find any light in life. Then Dhumavati is given as a very antidote for a very short while. And then there are tantric practitioners that do the Siddhi of Dhumavati also for prayog. Chinnamasta and Dhumavati also have a set of prayogs that are, popular.
Use for what?
For all of this that we spoke about, mesmerizing games and playing with the toys that God has given us.
Okay.
The two extremes of people that do her sadhana, ones that want to extract the power, and utilize the power for different kinds of experiments that they want to do, and the other who are wanting a healing, a deep healing. She's a great healer, Dhumavati. She can actually remove povertized conditions in all levels, material, emotional levels, So she's a healer. And air element, so air element itself creates a lot of change. Invoking her is like invoking the air element, Vayu.
It's said that when you begin any kind of deity upasana, like when you pray to a particular deity, you get traits of that deity.
Yeah.
Which is why I think people fear praying to Dhumavati.
Yeah.
That will you also become a widow? Will you also start aging?
That's the negative bit of conditioning which is there. That's a negative bit of conditioning which is there, which is not true. They are not in human forms. The Devis are not in human forms. They are huge energy portals and they create energy movement. So the depiction as women is only symbolic of the characteristics and elemental depiction, rather. The yellow in Baglamukhi is all about the fire element. It's not that she's a woman who likes yellow. It's not like that. Similarly, the Devis, the Bhuvaneshwaris, their shoulder, she is depicted with red. It's more symbolic to the to the Rajas. Rajasic energy is depicted by red often because it has a lot of attraction and a lot of abundance within itself. So they are depicted like that. It's not that they are any kind of women. So even when we say we are getting a darshan, suppose I say that I have a darshan of Matangi, it's actually a projection of my mind. There is my energy system and my mind projecting into a Devi that is so real in front of me. So it's my creation, basically. She is not coming in any form anywhere like that. The energy is supporting, undoubtedly she's supporting, which is why we say Devi has given me darshan. I don't say that I have created a darshan. So Devi has given me a darshan because it's something that I couldn't do, it has happened. However, it's a projection from your own pranic system, and when you understand the science of it, you understand it very deeply that it's a projection of your pranic system, and the maruts of your body are coming outside and giving you the darshan.
Wow.
Yeah, they're giving you the darshan. It's only for your eyes.
It's a state of being hyper-tuned again.
Very hyper-tuned, and it's like a prasad. It's like a reward system that your energy and your consciousness inside is giving you for your sheer dedication and devotion.
It's like if you work out long enough and eat cleanly, you'll see abs one day.
Yes, like that.
To trivialize it.
At a very gross level. Good example.